Hello again, and welcome to another episode of Mindfulness. Week 33, Awareness of Attachments. And the quote for the week: Attachment is the origin, the root of suffering. Hence, it is the cause of suffering, by Dalai Lama. Most days we're stung by suffering over minor slights, failed opportunities, or disconnection from someone we love. We suffer over life's unpredictability. Sometimes suffering expresses itself through irritability, anxiety, or agitation. Other times it envelopes us so completely we cannot separate ourselves from it. In Buddhism, samsara, the cycle of suffering, is a direct result of our desire for permanence and the need to control life through attachments to things, people, and outcomes. No matter how hard we try, life remains unpredictable and suffering seems inevitable. But suffering also alerts us to the fact that we are not being aware of what we really are. Whenever there is pain of any kind, grieving loss, fear, resentment, jealousy, or physical pain, if you look deeply into that, you discover that behind the pain, there's always something you're attached to. Through awareness of attachments and making efforts to let them go, you reduce the suffering and pain and gain a more peaceful acceptance of the present moment. Day 1 journal prompt. Today, I contemplate the concept of attachment and all of the things, people, and outcomes that I am attached to and cling to for fear of suffering without them. These are my attachments. Day 2 journal prompt. Today, I contemplate my attachments right now and the why behind them. Why am I attached to these things? What is the need or belief behind the attachment that binds me to them? Day 3 journal prompt. Today, I contemplate the effect my attachments have on me and my contentment in life. How do my attachments make me suffer? Day 4 journal prompt. Today, I contemplate the impermanence of all things, especially my attachments. How can the acceptance of impermanence make me more appreciative and present in my life? Day 5 journal prompt. Today, I consider my past attachments and whether or not they resulted in long-term peace and happiness. Did the things, people, and outcomes I desired in the past afford me ongoing happiness? Day 6 journal prompt. Today, I pay attention to any mental suffering that shows up as stress, anxiety, frustration, anger, or any negative emotion. Are the attachments behind my suffering? Day 7. Today, I contemplate life without attachments and the ability to let go and savor what is. This is how I would feel to live more in a state of non attachment. In the Bible verses this week, Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 through 21. Do not store up yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal, but store up yourselves treasures in heaven. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. Attachments often arise from misplaced priorities, when we value what's temporary over what's eternal. By aligning our hearts with divine truth and heavenly purpose, we reduce the emotional volatility tied to worldly outcomes and find peace in the eternal. In Philippians chapter 4, verses 11 and 12, I have learned to be content with whatever I have. In any and all circumstances, I have learned the secret of being well fed and of going hungry, of having plenty and of being in need. Here, Paul shares the transformative wisdom of detachment. True spiritual maturity doesn't come from having or lacking, but from learning, contentment independent of circumstances. This detachment isn't apathy, it's radical trust in God's provision and sovereignty. We can be free from suffering when we're no longer controlled by the need to have in order to be. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 and 6, for everything there is good season, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away. Awareness of impermanence is a divine truth woven into the fabric of life. Ecclesiastes reminds us that letting go is not failure. It is a sacred rhythm of life. Spiritual growth is often found not in acquiring more, but in releasing what no longer serves our soul. Non-attachment honors the seasons of life as God intended. In conclusion, Attachment blinds us to the sacred flow of life. It clings to what is fading and demands permanence in a world where everything changes. But through awareness and spiritual practice, we begin to see that letting go is not loss, it's liberation. God invites us into a freedom that trusts divine timing, accepts impermanence, and chooses peace over possession. This week, as you've explored your attachments to people, desires, expectations, you've begun to soften the grip of control. You're remembering that your soul is not defined by what you hold on to, but by the peace you carry when you let go. Let this journey lead you toward presence, gratitude, and a deeper trust in God, who is the only one truly permanent, unchanging, and trustworthy. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to check out my website, where you can book a one-on-one discovery call to uncover insights on how you can better apply these and other practices in your daily life with ease. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Your presence here is greatly appreciated, as your engagement on this channel helps others to find its content for their own benefit, all part of the collective healing efforts across the globe. Namaste, namasko.